Hi, neighbor. Welcome to our final episode of our 11th season. Thank you so much for joining us one last time in 2021.
Then I sit down with the producer of our show, Amando Chavez, to say goodbye as he sets out to graduate in December.
Then all of Hi Neighbor shows you what they do for Thanksgiving and all of the traditions they do over break. Then in our final studio interview, Ariela sits down with Landon Lane III to talk about his career. Join us as we say,
Hi, neighbor.
Hi neighbor, my name is Amando Chavez and I'm the producer of this show. This is our last episode of the season, but also my last episode before I graduate. And I just wanted to take the time to say that my time here with App TV, specifically Hi Neighbor, has given me some of the best memories here on this campus. Thank you so much for watching this season and supporting the Hi Neighbor crew. It means so much to every single one of us, and I'm incredibly proud of them and the work that they've done this semester. I can't wait to see what happens next semester with Spencer producing the show. Again, thank you so much for watching.
Hi, neighbor. Today is a very bittersweet day. I get to interview Hi Neighbor's current producer, Amando Chavez, who has been here since my first semester involved in this amazing organization. Amando, thank you so much for sitting down with us today on your last day as a part of our team for the semester.
My pleasure.
So let's just start from the top. How did you get involved in Hi Neighbor? And when was this?
So this was pre-COVID, or right at the start of the pandemic. I got an email from the communications department about getting involved in broadcasting and editing and App TV as a whole. I've heard about it beforehand, but I didn't know really how to sign up for it. So I signed up for it, and I got assigned to this show, Hi Neighbor, as an associate producer, and Up Late App State as a field producer, where I mainly did sketch writing and some social media content managing.
And what are the biggest two differences between Hi Neighbor's programming and Up Late App State's programming?
So Up Late App State is a sketch comedy show. It's still featured on our regular programming on App TV. It's like an SNL type of thing. Whereas Hi Neighbor was a interview based where you find stories around the local community and do stories on them. And my job as Hi Neighbor, or associate producer on Hi Neighbor, was associate producer. So I was just like going out, finding stories and getting a camera and putting packages together.
Okay, and did you join both shows right before COVID hit in 2020? I think that was spring of 2020 is when it really affected everything.
I got assigned to those shows right when we got sent back home, and we thought it was going to be like a couple of weeks we were going to be home, but it turned out to be like moved online. So I was right at the start of the pandemic.
So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced, I guess with Hi Neighbor, specifically regarding narrative storytelling on the show?
So with Hi Neighbor during Zoom and during COVID, it was mainly like Zoom interviews, and there was not a lot of camera angles and not a lot of equipment that we can use because, not everybody wanted to be safe, or everybody wanted to be safe and like keep on like social distancing, so we would stick to Zoom interviews, and which sucked really because with Zoom you can only do so much, and it's just two screens looking at you, and there's not that much you could tell compared to like a live interview with an actual camera and tripod. So I really kind of like was bummed about that part.
And post-COVID, what are some of either the challenges that you faced with either show or some of the accomplishments you've had because you get to have more freedom with the way you tell stories?
Well, I got to get like a lot of hands-on knowledge on camera equipment and tripod and the audios and the mics, and I was able to like get out into the community of Boone and like learn more about it. I was able to shoot B-roll, go out to like locations that I never would have gone to before, and it was just a really cool opportunity for me to like get involved with the community and tell stories that are really cool to tell.
And when developing all of these different storytelling skills and having these amazing formative experiences with both shows, did you have a mentor or a few mentors here in the program that really pushed you to be a stronger storyteller?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last year, the producer, Connor Beatty, he was like a really big mentor towards me. He helped me a lot with editing and packages. But now this year, Carlos Montero, Professor Carlos, he's a practitioner in residence for App TV. He's like a big influence on me and a big role model for me as a person in general. He's just given me so much advice and so much knowledge on when it comes to broadcasting and comes to TV, and this show would be a lot different if it wasn't for him, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think your exposure to Carlos started at Appalachian State, right? It started somewhere else, I believe on TV perhaps?
Yeah, he was on TV on Telemundo, CNN, Español, and Univision, I believe. And if you've ever been to his office, there's an Emmy in the back of his back of his office, and it's like really cool to like see it there and like, yo, this is like a really cool guy to learn from, and he knows a lot about TV. So yeah, I've watched him on TV before, so it was really cool to like see him and get that mentorship from him.
That's amazing to have a role model you've seen since you were a little kid growing up with, in a sense, on TV as you got older, just become your college mentor. What a great experience, Amando. And kind of connecting back to how all of these experiences has shaped you as a storyteller. I know we do a lot of news work here on App TV. Are you interested in going to the news, or are you looking to explore like different parts of the industry?
Well, honestly, I wouldn't mind news. It's not like I have I dislike news. It's just, it's not really for me. But honestly, anything with a camera and anything that I can edit, I'm going to get I'm going to try to get to that like close as that as possible. But I really want to do like filmmaking and stories that I'm proud of telling, and stories that like I think that people really want to hear and like learn more about, such as like documentaries or like just like indie style filmmaking, the DIY type of filmmaking that it inspires me a lot. So yeah, with news, there's a lot of like avenues you can go down, but with filmmaking, there's a lot more than news.
So as a narrative storyteller, what are some of the steps you're taking right now or plan on taking in the future to really build yourself to be that amazing indie movie director who I'm sure we'll see at one of these awards ceremonies in another 20 years?
Yeah, I basically write short films now and then. I have a YouTube channel where I just vlog for the entire month, and I put them together. There's not like a typical like story like, hey guys, I'm back with another episode. It's not like that. It's just like, okay, this is what's happening on this day. Like you're gonna watch it no matter. Like just basically DIY. It's just me and my camera, and then I put it together like the last week of the month, and I just edit it and put it all together. So I'm always gonna keep on editing and keep on recording, and I like to say like I'm documenting, I'm a documentarian, I guess is a better word for it. I just do that, and yeah, it's just I plan to keep on doing that after I graduate.
So concerning your immediate plans after you graduate this December, which I know like tears shedding right now as we speak, but concerning your plans after you graduate in December, are you planning on moving somewhere else, staying in Boone, doing freelance work? What's the vibe?
As of right now, I'm going to stay in Boone until my apartment lease ends in, I think, June. But I'm going to keep on doing freelance editing and freelance video work for some of the local bands here, or for anybody who needs like commercials or something like that. I've also applied to some remote jobs, for some companies in New York and Chicago. But the main goal is for me to end up one day in Chicago or in Atlanta. Both cities are kind of like the Hollywood of the East Coast, and I just think there's a lot of opportunities there for me. And both cities, I'm a city guy. I love the mountains, but I'm from Charlotte, and city is like my place. And so I just love being in a city, and especially with a bigger city like Chicago or Atlanta. There's a lot of stories you can tell, and a lot of stories that like I really want to tell to like the world.
So looking back on all your experiences, what's one piece of advice, or if it's more than one, a few pieces of advice you have to our APs here on App TV, our producers here at App TV, or even just our aspiring filmmakers in our high country community?
One thing that Carlos has taught me with our one-on-one meetings that we have at the beginning of the semester was try something new. And that's basically what I've done this past semester. I try to incorporate it as much as I can to the show. Like we have a green screen now. We didn't have a green screen. We have a desk now. I'm making the APs go out onto the field. We didn't have the opportunity last semester, so I really wanted the APs this semester to have the opportunity. And I just try something new. Like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and just try something else the next episode. And it's okay to fail. Like the first episode was kind of a bust for this season, but like after that, like it just keeps on getting better and better. And I'm really proud of the crew. I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of all the High Neighbor crew back there in the booth. But yeah, I'm really proud of what you guys have done. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Amando, and thank you so much for speaking with us today. Like I said, everybody, this interview is incredibly bittersweet for me. I've not only had Amando as a producer, but also a source of inspiration for me as an aspiring reporter here on App TV, and App TV definitely will not be the same without you. And for those of you who are aspiring filmmakers, APs here at App TV, or producers, or just anybody who's interested in the film industry as a whole, just take a chance. See where your work can push you and grow with it, just as how Amando has done in his time here with us. And until next time, bye, neighbor.
Hi, I'm Ashley Marion.
I'm Noah C. Cornelius.
And I'm Chris Daniels. On the A Game, we will discuss App State sports and bring you exclusive interviews with players and coaches.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the A Game Sports to stay up to date on the latest A Game news.
You can catch Season 14 of the A Game every Thursday on Skybest Channel 20 or 1020, Spectrum Charter Channel 198, and On Campus Channel 23-3.
Hola, soy Brenda de Buenos Días Boone. Así que venga a pasar sus mañanas con nosotros y sintonice en el campus o en los canales locales. Nos vemos pronto y que tengas un buen día, Boone. See you soon and have a good day.
A Pearl Thanksgiving generally isn't really a big celebration because we're a big family. There's 7 of us, my parents and my 5 siblings. And, well, now we have 3 more added to the family with 2 nephews and 1 niece. But there's really no difference between anyone else. We're pretty basic when it comes to Thanksgiving. So for our layout, we generally just have turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, cranberry sauce. We like to use green beans, and then we make baked mac and cheese. And then there is a desserty dish that goes along with the meal. It's like a gelatin with pineapple and marshmallows in it, and it's mixed in with like a whipped cream. It's very good, despite what you think. We tend to have both the canned cranberry and real cranberry that's mashed up. A bit of a newer addition that's started popping up in the recent years is that we go to the Carowinds Winterfest, and it's honestly a really fun time. The lights are really neat, the rides are really fun, and it's just a really all-around great experience. And especially because this particular time was the first time that my nephew rode a roller coaster. And, well, kids' rides mainly. But it was a really big milestone in our family, and, well, it was a really fun experience. And there's even a point where you'll see, my nephew, he's a little 2 years old, turning 3 here soon, dancing with his parents, and it's a very fun time. And, I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I'm probably going to go back. We actually have one of our siblings who works at Carowinds, so we actually get free tickets. So that was a big reason why we started doing this tradition, is that we get free tickets every year, so, it's like, why not go? And it's honestly just a really great experience that I would recommend for everyone. The lights are gorgeous. The light show that they have is absolutely fantastic, and the performers put a lot into what they do. And so, yeah. And that's the Pearl Thanksgiving. Thank you for coming along this journey, and I hope everyone has a happy holiday season.
Hello, welcome to App TV. I'm Nate McDonald, and this week is National Transfer Student Week here at Appalachian State University. And actually, the transfer services are holding an event today from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. where they're going to have free food and questions for anyone who's wondering about their transfer program. I'm going to see if I can get a few questions myself.
Hi, I'm Matt Huntinar. I'm the Associate Director for Transfer, Transition, and Engagement with Transfer Admissions and Engagement. And this week we're celebrating National Transfer Student Week. So we have events every day designed to, support transfer students. We want to, educate our campus community so they understand, more about transfer students, and really celebrate that 1 out of 4 students at App State is a transfer student. And so today we're in front of the Belk Library, and we've got Spin to Win. We've given out donuts this morning, and now we're doing pizza. We're very grateful that the Belk Library has partnered with us for this event.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So what would you say are the sort of resources that transfer services provide for incoming transfer students?
That's a great question. So we help all students, because all students, transfer or traditional, bring in transfer credit, either through AP credit or a community college or another school. So from the very beginning, when they are applying, we articulate their credit, and then we have transfer orientation. And then once they get here, we have events and welcome to app, because we know that students, transfer students, they may struggle with acclimating to this new campus, the new university surroundings. And then once they're here, we have events to keep them engaged. So we have the Transfer Student Organization, Tau Sigma, which is the National Honor Society. And one of the groups that I'm very proud of is the Transfer Student Mentors. And those are students that transferred to App and they had a successful transition, and now they help other students transfer. But the other things we do is we help with a little bit of advising for incoming students. But once they get here, we just continue to support them until they their entire journey, hopefully till graduation.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So what would you say the rate of transfer students looks like this year as compared to former years?
It's good. App State has done very well with our first year numbers and our transfer numbers. This semester, we welcomed about 1,200 transfer students, which is about the same number we did last year. In January, we hope to welcome another 400 transfer students. So we're, App State, we're fortunate that we really haven't seen a decline in the number of transfer students. We're real happy too that this year we partnered with University Housing, and we have a residence hall that is dedicated to transfer students, Mountain Laurel Hall, and it's the largest on-campus transfer student community at App State. So we're very fortunate for that. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for this interview. I love this event, and I can't wait to see more of it. Hi neighbor, join me today as I speak with Landon Lane III, a veteran and an App student alumni who's won critical acclaim as a furniture designer. He's been featured in competitions such as ASU's Spring 2019 HP Market and was selected by Leather Miracles Competition for Production and recently won an International Society of Furniture Design Pinnacle Award for his Delaney lounge chair. Landon, thank you so much for speaking with us today. Let's just start from the top. What inspired you to join the military?
Well, I had gone to college years ago when I was 18, and my education was kind of getting in the way of my social life, and so I took a break, and I was living, I was kind of floundering around, and I was like, there needs to be a change, and like I'd had a lot of family in the past who had served, and it seemed like a very good option, and I just wanted to be a service to something higher than myself. So
that is such an altruistic reason to go into the military. That's so, I guess, inspirational for those of us who maybe are finding ourselves in different ways.
Yes, but it was also like, I needed to get my stuff together. So that was probably the number one reason. And it would provide me structure, which I needed. So,
right, and
yeah.
After the military, you had an amazing, amazing opportunity to continue your formative experiences abroad by working at an atelier in China. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience? It sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was great. So Michael is just the best tailor in New York. I met him through my sister. She was living up there. She and her husband, they lived up in New York, and he got his suits from Michael, and like we met, and like a few months later, he was looking for a new workshop manager, and my sister was having lunch with him, and she was like, "Hey, you should call Landon. Like he just got out of the Navy, he's, going back to school, but like he's knows Chinese." And which was the main reason he gave me a call, but and so I went over there to run the workshop, which was like 6 people at the time. And then 6 months into it, once I was like getting really comfortable, like finally comfortable with doing my job, he was like, we're gonna pull the trigger on our own factory. We gotta do it in secret, because otherwise he'll probably just stop making things for us and we'll go bankrupt. And so, like 8 or 9 months after that, we opened the doors on our brand new factory in China, in Shenzhen. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems like a really interesting opportunity to get to see yourself grow by moving to China, just completely different culture in another country, and also grow with the company you were working for as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And what was that transition like from being a veteran to suddenly finding yourself in China to coming back to your home state, I believe, of North Carolina, and just being a student walking around our high country's community?
Yeah, well, the Navy definitely prepared me to really hit the ground running, just whatever experience. So I'm used to being thrown into a situation where I don't really know what's going on and just kind of focusing on something and going for it. So that helped in China, and it, all my experiences leading up to coming back to school. I mean, it's a big difference, but it's been great. The 4 years I spent here were fantastic, just because my wife and I, we had a new baby, and so I had enough time to spend with them. I wasn't gone all day long, and then barely get to see my kid, and so it was. But it was still, there's a lot of work in the design program. There's a whole lot of outside work in that major. So I was still busy, and yeah, I guess I learned how to manage my time effectively and get stuff done.
Well, like you said earlier, just kind of being thrown into things and having to figure it out honestly sounds like the philosophy of a college student in general.
Yeah.
And as a student here, what specifically drew you to furniture design, and what would you say is the philosophy behind your work?
So furniture, like I grew up in furniture, being from Hickory, right down the mountain. I mean, that's where, for years, I mean, a ton of the world's furniture was actually made there. And there's still a lot of furniture companies there, but in the early aughts, like they started outsourcing just because they could get a better, they could get a better price. So I grew up in it. Like my dad's family, they were, like my great granddad, he started a furniture company that it grew to be pretty big. But then when I was a baby, like the family lost control of the company, and so I guess I've always had it, it's been always been there, like looming behind me, and I guess I was like running away from it, doing I don't know, I felt like I didn't want to just do what was maybe expected of me, but so that's what drew me to App. That the proximity to home, a young family, like my family's still in Hickory, and my wife liked that. So that's what drew me to furniture design and to App.
And would you say there's a specific philosophy behind your work or your designs, or just kind of behind the creative process of creating a new piece?
Yeah, I mean, I like to, so working for Michael, like, I have some really high class, like fancy fabrics and stuff like that. So, I mean, being around that all the time, I kind of got some nice tastes of like really fine fabrics. And so I'm into kind of higher end stuff, making higher end, like a really nice piece of furniture. And I would say that's my philosophy, is to make like a high end kind of luxury product. I don't want it to be like ostentatious or like, gold and glitz and, all that, but just something that's made well and looks great and just feels like a nice product.
Right, and how does it feel getting to achieve recognition for all of your high-end designs and just really focusing on what you pour into your own furniture? And I think you won an ISFD Pinnacle Award most recently.
Yeah.
So what did that feel like to almost have your work validated by a larger community of people?
Well, it felt really good for me, but also it felt really good for the program and for App And that's, because I didn't get there by myself. And even that, I got input from my classmates and our teachers over there, Richard Prisco, Cameron Van Dyke. They're fantastic, just fantastic, awesome professors, like the kind that you should strive to have. And so it was validation for me and also for our design community, the design program here. And also for where I work now, because I was doing my internship down there and I had rolled my internship in with this project, with the chair that won. And so it was good for our company too, because we're going to start making that next market in the spring. We're going to debut that, and that's exciting. So
wow.
People will get to have that in their homes.
Congratulations, that is such
thanks.
big news.
Yeah.
And kind of continuing on your future plans, I know some of them might be top secret and we can't know everything, but can you give us a little glimpse into what you're planning on doing with the future, whether it's regarding designs or even career aspirations as a whole?
Well, I mean, right now I'm gonna stay with OHD Our House Designs. It's a great company. We make a really good product. It's it's a high-end piece that will last for 50 or 60 or more years. Like you'd be giving this to your grandkids, or you could resell it. So I'm happy there. Parker Marisich, the president, he's given me and the other designer, who's also an App State grad, Sam Fonseca, he's given us a lot of freedom and a lot of just a lot of support to do what we do best. So we're going to continue making like high-end products and drive the design direction in that, which is super exciting. And it's a small company, but I think we're going to be growing very quickly, and so.
I am so excited to hear about your future plans, and I'm really excited to see the company grow, as well as you as a designer grow in collaboration with the amazing teammates you seem to have in your workplace and mentors you've had at App State. Yeah. And just listening to your story as a student veteran, the amazing formative experiences you got to have in China, those transferable skills you brought back as a student at Appalachian State University before going off and becoming incredibly successful in the world of furniture design, really serves as an inspiration to us all, especially untraditional students who might come from different backgrounds or had a completely different life experience before coming here. So to really wrap it up today, Landon, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing a little bit about you, your philosophy, and your life. It was a real pleasure to listen to it.
Well, thanks for having me.
Of
I appreciate it, Ariela.
Of course, thank you. And until next time, bye, neighbor.
Up late App State, Sundays at 9.
Get out of here. Just go.
Hey, do you have way too much time on your hands?
Do you love watching people act a fool?
Do you like to learn how amazing the LGBTQ+ community is?
Well, yeah, us too. That's why we made this show, Can't Think Straight.
I'm Harriet.
And I'm Nate. We are your esteemed hosts.
We'll provide you non-stop laughs as well as a sprinkle of queer education to get you through your day.
Can't Think Straight will premiere Fridays at 9 p.m. You can watch it on watchapptv.com or any of these TV channels.
Can't wait to see you there.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, neighbor. Thank you so much for watching our 11th season. We've had so much fun taking you along with us as we cover all of the news in our high country community.
And this crew has had a chance to grow into a family, being able to go around to all these events together, spending time together, and learning about these events. And with that, I want to give a special thanks to our APs, Spencer Bowman, who is our future producer, Noah C. Cornelius, Corey Phillips, and our producer, Amando Chavez.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, App TV, for more student-made content. Follow our Instagram at @hi_neighbor_AppTV.
And until next season,
Bye, neighbor.